Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. Labor says its new budget is a show of confidence in the Hunter, with key infrastructure projects here to stay despite the Treasurer's financial overhaul. Funding for the hydrogen projects at the Port of Newcastle, a new terminal at Newcastle Airport and highway upgrades across the region all made the cut. Money's also been allocated to revive GP access after hours and develop new urgent care clinics to ease the pressure on Hunter hospitals. Newcastle MP Sharon Claydon says investment in the regions is essential to getting the country over its economic hump.
The Prime Minister of Australia chose to launch his campaign for 2022 in Newcastle. I think that should instill great confidence into Novocastrians that he has a particularly keen interest in ensuring that regions like Newcastle and the Hunter continue to be major contributors in the national economy.
Nationals MP and member for Lyne David Gillespie says much of the infrastructure spending for the Hunter in the budget was already committed by the previous government. He's welcomed the reduction in the price of medicines under the PBS by up to $12.50 a script, but he's disappointed a government election commitment to cut energy costs by $275 by 2025 won't be achieved.
But gas prices will stay up. There's no solution for that. Electricity prices are going up 50%, and there's no relief in sight for cost of living pressures. The only thing that I can say is good is dropping the payment for PBS scripts down to $30.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the lack of investment in the electricity grid during a decade of coalition government is putting increased pressure on energy costs. The state government is set to spend $360 million to decarbonise mining and manufacturing across the Hunter and New South Wales. The Net Zero Industry and Innovation Fund is designed to partner with the sectors and support infrastructure and supply chains for high emitters. Business Hunter CEO Bob Hawes says it's important industry and government can align their priorities and approaches.
We're getting tremendous focus from both levels of government, and they're backing us and putting a lot of confidence in the Hunter region as being featured significantly in that new energy economy. Policies like this and the funding to go with it is going to be very important to give industry the confidence that it needs.
The section of road at Testers Hollow, which regularly goes underwater during heavy rain, will be closed this weekend for upgrade works to continue. Work has been underway for about 12 months to raise a section of Cessnock Road by about 1.5 metres to make it more resilient during times of flooding. From 6:30 on Friday night until 5:30 on Monday morning, a 600-metre section of the road will be closed to connect the new road to the existing road. A detour via Buchanan Road will be in place for light vehicles, adding around 18 minutes to travel time. Heavy vehicles will use John Renshaw Drive. The voices of domestic and sexual violence survivors will be heard on the Warners Bay foreshore on Friday as part of a global protest. The Reclaim the Night walk will take place at 6 p.m. and will see community members and support services come together in support of local survivors. Heal for Life founder Liz Mulliner says all residents are invited to attend.
Everybody needs to be involved in giving the voiceless a voice. So it's not just people who've suffered trauma, it's not just people who have suffered, it's anybody who thinks it is true. We've all got to stand up against violence. We've all got to, as a society, recognise and help people who have suffered, and we've all got to say it has to stop.
Newcastle councillors have supported a motion to improve aquatic facilities in the city. They've agreed to write to Venues New South Wales to get confirmation land will be preserved in the Hunter precinct at Broadmeadow for a year-round aquatic facility.
2NURFM Sport.
Northern NPLW Premiers Warners Bay say they're entering a rebuilding phase after losing their entire first-grade side. Coach Craig Atkins also departed the club, with a position being filled by former reserve-grade coach Ryan Swinkles. Jets midfielder Cassidy Davis was the first player to announce her departure from the roster, joining Wooden Spooners New Lambton for 2023. Charlestown golfer Jake Higginbottom is hoping to find form in a local competition before he takes part in the Asian Tour. The 29-year-old is set to tee up in the Waratah Pro-Am later today, ahead of his departure for Morocco for back-to-back events. Higginbottom currently sits at 103rd and needs to break into the top 60 to retain his place on the Asian Tour for a 10th year. And former Knights reserve grade and Central Newcastle junior Zach Hosking will join the Panthers on a 2-year deal. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 1, 7, 9, 15, 23, 32 and 39, and the supplementaries are 18, 36 and 40. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.